Kia ora, good evening. Police are reminding motorists to drive safely around Southern schools as students head back into the classrooms. The new school year kicks off over the next week and Southern District Police will be targeting excessive speed in a road policing campaign.
The campaign starts from the 2nd of February and runs to the 13th. It's about being careful within that school zone, so 250 metres each side of the school. We've got young children that are excited starting their first day at school. They're not paying attention to traffic. It's about drivers being responsible and taking that initiative, keeping their speed down and taking real care around the schools. Over the last 5 years we've had about 50 or 60 injury accidents around schools in the Southern District. So for us it's to minimise that. If someone hits a child at 60k, they've got a 15% chance of surviving. If they hit them at 50k, they've got a 55% chance. If they hit them at 30k, they've got a 95% chance of survival. So it's really the message that speed kills really is true when it comes to vulnerable children on our streets.
What are the recurring factors in these accidents?
Speed's one of the occurring factors. What we've got is children that are excited. They may be seeing their friends for the first time for a while. They've got a new bike or they're perhaps first time at school. They're not thinking about anything around them. They're thinking about seeing their mates or getting to school to meet their teacher and stuff like that. So we find that they're focused not on the traffic. They can't judge the speed of vehicles very well. So it's up to the motorists to take that initiative and bring their speed down. Yep.
So during this time I assume there's going to be zero tolerance from police?
Yeah, there's a zero tolerance. If you're speeding around the school, you will be getting stopped. We'll be strictly enforcing the 4k tolerance. So if you're 54k or 55k, you should expect to be stopped and getting a ticket. So, yeah.
Are rural schools where the speed limits are higher, are they an issue?
We will be policing areas that we believe are high risk. So those schools that perhaps in the past we've had drivers that are speeding past, or we've had complaints from the school themselves, we'll be tasking staff members to those schools during that peak time. Most drivers are very good inside the school zones. They slow down. Most of them slow down to well below the 100k or well below the 50k limit. Perhaps where they do slip up is the 20k past the school bus. Stationary school bus stopping and picking up children. The speed limit is 20k. That's both lanes, so it may be on the other side of the road, but you have to slow down as well. And we'll be doing some enforcement around that during the period as well.
Obviously there's going to be some of the teenagers returning to school that may have got their restricted licence over the holiday period. Is there a message to parents about that?
Yeah, it's just you're a teen and you've seen it on the TV. On the first 6 months of their restricted licence are twice as likely to have a crash than later on. It's about experience, so make sure that they're not running late, make sure that they're not picking up their mates once mum and dad are out of the way, and we'll be doing some enforcement later in that period, so that second week of the back to school term, looking at our graduated driver's licences, and making sure that people are complying. Yeah, this whole campaign's about preventing injury to our littlies and our restricted drivers. So that's what it's all about. The success is measured, hopefully at the end of this 2 weeks we won't have anybody injured.
A group of young men were lucky not to have added to the weekend's drowning statistics in Queenstown on Sunday. The 4 men, believed to be from the United States, were seen floating down the Kawarau River on inflatable airbeds with no life jackets. The Queenstown Lakes District Council said the men will be receiving instant fines of $300. Southland Harbour Master Kevin O'Sullivan says these kinds of stunts could get out of control quickly and without life jackets end badly. He said in warmer months more people are out in the water, making monitoring boat safety difficult. He urged people to wear life jackets at all times when using any kind of small vessel under 6 metres in length. The planning framework that governs our environment, including the use of land, water and coastline, is set to be streamlined in a bid to reduce red tape. It's hoped the proposed legislative changes to the Resource Management Act will help fast-track some activities. One local government chief executive can see benefits, including having a national framework.
The proposed, setting up of national templates, if you like, for planning rules and provisions potentially has the merit of streamlining that rule development process. Now, obviously, we will still be keen to make sure we can recognise local conditions and amend any national rules to suit Southland. But potentially that has the ability to streamline our consenting processes, the recognition of the importance of infrastructure explicitly, and particularly as a key role of local government is providing the infrastructure needed to help facilitate the development of our communities and economic development. And there are many examples of the roading network and the importance of that for industry, and in fact we've just been having some discussions with Fonterra, for example, about what changes might be needed to our roading network to streamline that and make it easier and more efficient for you operating your tanker network. So if we can streamline those processes around development of infrastructure, that's all useful stuff. But again, I think it's important. The principles sound good. What we need to do is see the detail of the proposed legislative changes, think about it from a Southland perspective, and then make submissions and input into the legislative change process.
Do stay with us. After the break, Southern firefighters are seconded to tackle blazing conditions in Arthur's Pass, plus retirement on Stewart Island. Welcome back. Southern firefighters are deploying to Canterbury tonight to assist in battling fires at Arthur's Pass. 10 Southern rural firefighters will deploy from Invercargill Airport tonight in order to assist firefighters in Canterbury who continue to battle the blaze near Flock Hill Station. The Arthur's Pass fire began about 2:30 yesterday afternoon, and if it can't be controlled soon, it could pose a major threat to native species, ski fields and lodges. 56 people were working on controlling the fire this afternoon, including support crews, firefighters and management staff, but more resources and manpower have been requested to assist fighting the blaze.
Well, there's approximately 600 hectares that are burning at the moment. The crews that are currently working up in Canterbury are quite stretched. As a result, we've got 2 crews from down here, a crew from Otago and 2 crews from the North Island that have been requested to assist the fire crews that are working up in Canterbury at the moment.
Were you expecting this call out?
Yeah, pretty much. We've had 2 crews on standby since last week. Things calmed down later on last week, but it's popped up again. Well, it's hard to say exactly what they're going to be doing on the ground at the moment, but it's going to be a long few days for them, yeah.
Will you be taking equipment from Southland?
No equipment has been requested. The guys, it's only personnel that's been requested, so the guys will be flying up in an hour or 2 up to Christchurch and pick up some rental vehicles to get up to Arthur's Pass, and then they'll be based up there for the week.
And they'll just be getting straight into it as soon as they get there? Basically,
they start work first thing tomorrow morning, bit of a kip tonight, and yeah, that's them for the week pretty much.
Multi-million-dollar roading and infrastructure projects are now underway in Queenstown after years of lobbying from local developers.
State Highway 6 and the Glenda Drive intersections in Queenstown are now under major redevelopment. Local developers Porter Group, working with the New Zealand Transport Agency and the Queenstown Lakes District Council, will add new roading to the state highway, including an eastern arterial road roundabout. The roundabout will access a new Mitre 10 mega store scheduled to open in spring 2015 and a future Pack and Save supermarket. In addition to these, there's approximately another 30 commercial industrial adjoining sites. Porter Group said the project was long overdue because of accidents and congestion problems in the area. They said the development will expand affordable living opportunities for the district's rapid growth. A connection between Glenda Drive and the new road could be open before next winter.
And the NZTA have advised more safety improvement work will also begin on State Highway 6 at the Nevis Bluff between Cromwell and Queenstown next month, and motorists should expect delays of up to 10 minutes. A project to help Stewart Islanders remain on the island in their senior years is gaining momentum. Venture Southland is working with consultants to plan Stewart Island's retirement village and are in the process of finalising drawings and assessing its best possible location. The project began after it was identified the island had little to offer its elderly residents in terms of suitable housing, and many were forced to move. The retirement village still requires funding, but Southland District Councillor Bruce Ford says it's moving in the right direction.
Venture Southland have done some of the need survey for us, and it's well established that we've got over 100 people greater than 60 years old, so those people are looking for somewhere easier to look after.
And what options do they currently have?
Well, a lot of them currently have their large family homes, and of course once the family have moved on a bit, it's a bit of a handful for 1 or 2 persons to keep up with that size property, especially gardens and lawns and clean the windows and all the things that you have to do.
So there is quite a demand for it then?
Yep, I could find 6 people right now that we could put in there tomorrow if we had the building ready.
What stage are you at with the retirement village?
It's been going on now for many years, of course, and I've been pushing this a bit harder for the last 3-4 years probably to try and get something going, and we're getting some drawings and some better ideas of what we need, and certainly the demands have been established and that's all well identified.
What kind of structure are you looking at having for it?
Well, the intended to have probably something easily managed with 1 or 2 bedroom flats, as it were, and so we can get hopefully 10 or a dozen on the one site to try and minimise the cost of looking after people. There's a couple of sections behind me that are available, and they nice and convenient, close to the shops and the post office and medical services. So to me, it's easy walking distance for everybody, and of course they can stop at the pub on the way if they want.
And that's all from the news desk this Tuesday. Sport follows the weather next from the news team. Good night.